All right, welcome everyone. How are you? Justin McDonald here, the co-founder and CEO of Saleo. Appreciate you joining. I am joined by the esteemed Hannah Whaley, who's one of our product managers. We are coming out live from the Saleo studio, headquartered here in Atlanta, Georgia. So excited for today. It's a big moment, unveiling Saleo AI. You have months and months of work into this. We're great to have you all. We'll be spending most of the time actually doing a demo of the new AI technology. So super thrilled, but a few thoughts from you. You spent nights, weekends, months and months building this. So any initial thoughts as we jump in?
Yeah, this is true. It's kind of a full circle moment. I just joined Saleo a few months ago, and day one, this was a primary focus. But even before that, I had seen Saleo in action before. I knew it was a really great tool, but it was during the interview process when we were talking about your vision and Dan's vision for AI and for Saleo that made me realize this is a team I have to be a part of. They're doing something really powerful. So to be sitting here today and be able to show it off is like really special. And the days leading up to this webinar, it was really fun. I know you just mentioned I've spent a lot of time playing around with this. Probably myself and Dan have spent more time than anyone at the company. And I still have those moments where it blows my mind, right? It's just like, it's so impressive we're solving such a real problem. So it's so exciting to be able to like unveil that today and be able to share that with the world.
Yeah, love it. Excited for it. Just a couple of housekeeping things. So we will do a quick poll question as we get started. Again, I know it's 2 minutes after, so folks are still joining in early on the West Coast after lunch, East Coast here. So just a quick poll question. You all can see it. On average, how much time do you spend each week preparing demo data? So again, on average, how much time do you spend each week preparing demo data? And I believe the marketing team will be sharing the results towards the end. Last housekeeping, any questions along the way, feel free to chime in, ask them in the Zoom. We will take them towards the end. So yes, please do. Please participate. I had an old CEO that used to say questions are cheering, so we welcome them. Very good. Awesome. We'll give you just a couple more seconds to fill that out. Again, let some additional folks funnel in and we'll jump into it. How many hours do you spend? A lot more with Saleo AI because you've been doing a lot of demos.
I've been testing a lot, yeah, but a lot less at the same time.
This is true, comparatively speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. All right, very good. Well, we're going to jump into it. I'll take the laptop here. Very good. So just, again, for those that came in late, I'm Justin McDonald. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Saleo. Grateful, excited to be here, excited to be able to join us. It's a big moment for us. As we said in the beginning, it's been months and months of planning and work into this new AI product. So we're excited to unveil it today. Again, just for reference, Hannah Whaley, the product manager that worked on it. So we'll be going back and forth today. She's going to be the star of the show. She'll actually be doing the live demo of the new demo data creator. And so we'll jump into it here. All right, really quick on agenda. Obviously did the intros. We'll talk about demo data, why it matters to everyone. I think it's super important to set the stage, some context. We'll explain data injection because our original modeling engine that we invented comes along with data injection is really the precipice and the foundation for how the new AI capability works. So we'll just set the stage on that. I think it'll be important to level set on how Saleo works as we jump into the new AI capabilities. We'll be doing the first portion of the demo, which is really just 2-minute recap, how Saleo works, how data injection works, how it actually brings products to life. We'll then unveil demo data creator, and then Hannah's going to walk us through the live demo of the first view. So it's the first time we are unveiling it. There's been a couple of early customers, obviously folks internally, but this is the first time that the market's seen it. So we're super excited for it. So very good. And then a wrap up Q&A. We'll try to leave around 5-10 minutes towards the end for Q&A. And again, please post your questions in chat. Our moderators will hand it over and we'll go through the questions towards the end. So, all right, and quick apology, my voice is a little hoarse. I lost it about 2 weeks ago from an illness, but it's coming back. So I'll try to project a little louder, but I definitely sound hoarse today. So it's just the real world. So, all right, very good. So a little bit about Saleo. Those that are not familiar with us. So we are the #1 live demo experience platform. So we have been a leader in the G2 category for I think 8 quarters in a row now. So super great for our customers who go in there and provide reviews. And we partner with some of the biggest brands in software, right? Many of the leading Fortune 500 companies we're grateful to call partners and customers. We created the concept of data injection, which literally injects data alongside live applications, brings it to life. We'll talk more about that. It's the bread and butter of Saleo. It's what makes us unique. It's where our original AI modeling engine comes in, where it interprets what applications are looking for, the data that they need, and it allows sales, pre-sales, go-to-market marketing teams to demo the actual live product. And we have a full platform, right? So we have Saleo Live, and then you have Saleo Capture, which comes in two variants. Guided tours, think of it more interactive demos, product tours, and then light sandboxes as well, which is going to choose your own adventure, less guided on rails, go anywhere, and then many different use cases for both. So the cool thing about Saleo Live is it actually is differentiated in itself and what it does, but it also empowers capture. So you can transform the live product with live data, and then it completely transforms the captures and any asynchronous assets that you create from that. So data. So we've got a saying here that data is a story. So I got my start in pre-sales. I've obviously run some product orgs as well. And so data is everything when it comes to the story. Otherwise, it's a blank canvas. It's a UI. The data is what allows sales, pre-sales to make the demo relevant, to help it land, to bring the wow factor. Otherwise, it's just a blank canvas, right? So we always say, if the data is not good, the demo story, the demo data, it powers everything, right? So you've got great demo data, you transform the app, you bring it to life. So again, much about what we're talking about today hinges upon really great demo data. And then it impacts far more than just the demo, right? You've got all the prep time that goes into preparing it. You have lower win rates if you've got generic demos that don't resonate with the particular use case or the buyer, the industry. You've got a high cost to actually prepare, to maintain, to manage it, right? So whether it's product and engineering helping, whether it's demo engineers, whether it's sales engineers, there's a lot that goes into it, right? You've got slower sales cycles. The longer it takes you to prepare a demo, obviously you're losing velocity in the sales cycle. And that's hard to scale, right? If you don't have great demo data, if you're relying on multiple tenants and just reseeding it or trying to refresh it or the data degrading, there's just a ton of inconsistencies across sales engineers, solutions consultants, AEs that do their own demos. And then ultimately, all of this leads to poor prospect engagement, which none of us like that, right? So the ability to personalize, to bring it to life, super critical. And then all of that leads to rising customer acquisition costs, which is what we're trying to avoid. So the demo data, it's far reaching, it's pervasive, it has a great deal of impact beyond just the actual demo. A couple just points here as we highlight the ways in which you can solve the demo data problem. And I think this is a really good education for the market as well. There's a couple different types of ways that you can handle data. There's the overlay, which is more superficial, right? It's a surface level changes to the HTML, to the CSS. There's a place for that. We actually have a capability of that within Saleo that does it. But you have limited realism. It's static. It's prone to error. The data doesn't flow naturally because you're just touching the superficial layer. And then there's a Saleo data injection, right? You are literally injecting data into the live application, working alongside the native product. It brings it to life. The data flows naturally. It goes anywhere. And it's critical, right? When you're doing a demo, you want your products, you want your buyers, your prospects to see your actual live product. You want to be showing them the real thing. You don't need hidden brick walls. You don't want any potholes. You want to be able to demo the native authentic technology, and data injection allows you to do that. It's at the API level. You can go anywhere. It's fully interactive because it is the actual live product. So again, just level setting as we're getting into the AI release. I think it's important that we cover some of these concepts. So why it matters, right? Nothing beats demoing your live product. There's a great place for captures, for interactives, for asynchronous assets, right? They can scale well, but they always have the downfall of it not being the real product. It's not the actual technology that's live that your product and engineering team designed, that you all are out there trying to sell and bring value to the market. And then relevant demo data tells a story, right? The only way to have relevant demo data is to do data injection at the API level, where the application understands where the data goes. It flows naturally. It cascades throughout the app. It makes sense. Calculations work. It's critical that happens. Otherwise, you are essentially faking it, right? And there's a place for that. Overlays are great, but many applications out there really require the data continuity and the flowing of the data throughout the app. Most importantly, with legit data injection is that you need to control it. If you're a sales engineer, if you're an AE, if you're a product marketer, if you're in CS, you need to have control of what that demo says based upon who you're talking to, which customer you're supporting, who you're selling to, who's on the docket for that day. So, all right, so live demo portion number one. Just a couple minutes here to set the stage for how traditional Saleo AI works with our modeling engine. And then we'll do the grand reveal with Hannah, which her portion is far more exciting than mine. So it just gets better. All right, very good. So I'm going to do a quick demo here of Saleo. Let me actually get zoom out of the way so I can see it. So you can see here, this is just a blank instance of HubSpot, right? No demo data in here purposefully. I'm going to queue up Saleo. And then I've got my demo library. So I can have an entire library of the different demos, different use cases. And this is also our demo sync. You saw this release last month where I can have a master demo and then personalized views below that. So if I want to make a change of a golden demo, a perfect data set, and then have it automatically cascade across 10,000 different demos, Demo Sync allows you to maintain the data at scale. So I will just queue up this demo. You'll see that Saleo's AI modeling engine interprets what's happening within this application. In this case, HubSpot. It's going to inject the data in real time. It's going to bring it to life. And now I've got a beautiful, fully data complete demo. All the hovers, all the tooltips, everything works because it's the actual live HubSpot application. So really quick, I'll show you one more area, and then we'll shift it over to Hannah to pop into Demo Data Creator. I'm going to stop Saleo. So it disengages, right? Goes back to the original state. I'll open up Saleo and we'll go into edit mode. So let's say that I want to make a quick data adjustment to this particular demo. I click into it. I'm going to go into the graph designer. And the reason I'm setting this stage as well is there's a couple different ways that you can edit demo data. So when we get to the new AI capability, it's highly focused around what I would say is the biggest friction point in the market is just when you have structured table data, there's a lot of data that flows throughout. There's tons of activity, transactions. Data can be structured in a table, or it can be visually represented in a graph or a dashboard. So I'll set the stage with this, and then Hannah's going to spend the time on what we believe just brings tremendous value to the market. So let's say I want to make a quick adjustment to the data. Today, with Saleo's modeling engine, I can say, you know what? I want to tell a story where all the deals, the pipeline is growing. And you know what? I'm talking to an enterprise, so we want the data max to be exponential. I can even come in here and say, you know what? I want to show closed won much higher for the day. Well, that may be actually way higher. We'll do 2,000 here. So big spike in closed won. I publish it. Saleo's AI modeling engine creates the data, and I'm going to actually minimize it so you can see it. Creates the data instantaneously, injects it directly into the live HubSpot product, and now all of that data is flowing naturally. HubSpot actually believes the data is there. It's rendering correctly. All the hovers, all the tooltips, everything represents, calculates perfectly. So that's kind of the foundation laying for data injection. And so I will go back to one more slide here and then set the stage. So this is the grand reveal for Demo Data Creator. And one of the North Stars we had at Saleo, and obviously Hannah's been working on this quite a bit, is that when we create features, especially around AI, we don't want fluff. We don't want things that are just novelties. It needs to really solve big problems in the actual market, right? It needs to solve challenges. It needs to be substantial. So we don't want just, for lack of a better word, just kind of marketing centric AI features just to put something on the website. We really wanted to solve some big problems. So I think the thing that you'll see more than anything is the substantial nature of what this actual technology, what this release is doing. So it's able to generate, scale, and personalize demo data in seconds, all powered by Saleo AI. It's context aware, right? So we spent significant amount of time in our actual fine tuning of the models to make sure that when it's generating the data, it knows where you are in your product, what kind of data it's looking for, how it correlates to other areas of the product. So it's context aware. You can expand the data sets in seconds, right? So I can adjust it. You'll see Hannah do this in real time. You can literally adjust it. It generates something. Well, I don't like the look of this, or I need to change that. Instantaneously adjust it. Hyper customization at scale. And then you can save just hours, 1 hour, sometimes weeks of prep time utilizing the new AI. The question is always, hey, well, does it work across my use case, right? So these are the variations, just a sample. There's many more than this of where AI can be applied when it's auto-generating data for you. So maps and visualizations, which Hannah's going to show a cool example of that. CRM account data, campaign data, financial transactions, ERP data, user data, logs, conversational AI. That's a big piece, being able to actually create AI data that works alongside AI features in our customers' products. So whether it's a co-pilot, other capabilities, it can be harnessed in all of this. And then workflows, right? There's tons of integrations. Many of our customers have very complex workflows that they need great data for to be able to represent those well. So I will stop talking there, and I will stop sharing, and we'll hand it over to Hannah, and we're going to jump into Saleo AI, Demo Data Creator.
Awesome. The moment has arrived. Let's watch it. Thank you for teeing that up so nicely. I'm going to go ahead and start getting into my demo instance. And while we're doing this, I love that you showed the graph designer, but some of the things we'll walk through too is visualizations are also driven by tables sometimes too.
Yeah.
So we want to highlight that as well. It's not just tables driving tables. Tables can also drive visualizations. And
Yeah.
that's really where the volume of data starts to matter. You don't want an empty visual. So
Yes.
being able to show some of that today is going to be really exciting. So give me just a second to get all set up here. We're going to start in HubSpot again, actually.
Cool.
And similar to how you were showing us kind of an empty state, what we're looking at now, we're in their content module. So this is an example of where they can update their knowledge base articles. And I know I personally would not want to spend a lot of time manually inserting knowledge base articles that are relevant to prospects. That's a very time consuming task to do. So let's take a look at how AI can help solve that for us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open the Saleo extension. And I'm going to find the table that's driving this part of the platform and open up Saleo AI. Let's do a maybe payroll HR software use case.
Cool.
Okay, I get to type. Wow.
Yeah, no, and anytime I'm typing live, I'm pressing it.
Me that provides. All right, so we can do payroll, benefits, onboarding, and we'll do hiring. Cool. I'm going to specify something really quick, right? You want the prompts to be specific for the best results. In this case, knowledge base 1, so that they all show up on the same page in the same knowledge base. All right. Let's watch it happen. Okay, that was quick. So it's writing knowledge base articles that are relevant to the exact use case that we just wrote. It's still finalizing those additional pages. All right, we're done.
Cool. Success, as it says.
Let's look at this. All right, best practices for hiring recruitment, effective onboarding strategies for new hires. I mean, spot on to exactly what you would see in a knowledge base here. And we can scroll and see, let's see. Yeah, we're done here. And then I noticed that was generating. We've got this language column here. So should we show off some translations?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Maybe into Spanish a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so what's cool is you can also select specific columns. So let me do the name column here. We can do the body, and then let's also do the summary. So I'm telling it now which columns we want it to control, and it's only going to modify the ones I specify in this case. And then let's also, we saw that drop down earlier, we can tell it that we want the language for this column to always be the Spanish one, which I believe was ES. I'm going to check that code in a second to make sure. Yeah. All right. Let's see those stars.
Cool. Just a few prompts, selects it, auto adjusts it, and translates to Spanish. Yeah.
And within seconds, we're going to have a knowledge base. I'll scoot over so you can see the magic. Watch that first column. You'll see it. There you go. Do you see it start translating there? I mean, it's just so powerful. We're translating an entire knowledge base now into Spanish. Right. I am not going to attempt to pronounce these.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and publish it, and we can see that empty become instantly populated. We've got these Spanish articles now.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And yeah, it's fully populated. That just saves hours of time.
Yes, maybe more than that.
Maybe even more than that. All right, I'm gonna get the next one loaded.
Yeah, so one of the things we're going to show you is we'll show you a couple of variations. So that was one application. We'll show you another, and so we'll toggle before. So we know we have many customers. Hundreds on the line, attendees, just making sure we get some nice variations. So we'll pull it up. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a localization. So this is, I saw a preview of this one. This will be fun.
Yes. So what we're looking at now is actually just our Saleo site where we like to show off some of our capabilities. Yep. In this case, we're going to look at an empty map. We can see it's labeled as office location. That's actually a text replacement. So we've already modified what that is with Saleo. And I can change that later, just kind of show how we can make it even more personalized. But let's take a look and see if we can get some locations to appear with AI. I'm going to start maybe by doing, in this case, let me pull it up. We can do Fortune 500 company, see if we can generate some example office locations.
Cool.
Generate, we'll do 30. And then we can scale it after this. We'll start in the US. So Fortune 500 company. All right, we're going to start in the US, and then after this, we'll go global. I love this one too. No one wants to look up latitude and
Yeah.
longitude.
Yeah, this has been a just, sticking point for some of our customers, like, hey, we could do this, but you have to go and find the lat longe.
Yeah.
Or you could use ChatGPT, and then how on earth do you get it in context? That's amazing.
And look, now
Yeah,
we're full. Look at this. We've got these, it even added like descriptions with the city names too, which is nice. We've got the office, the city name. That was a nice touch that it added on. So let's expand this now. I wouldn't want to do 30. I certainly wouldn't want to do 100. So let's see how quickly our tool can do that for us. Offices. 100 companies. So while we're doing this, what you'll see if you pay attention to the data, it's going to keep those first 30. So this is what I love. It knows that these first 30 are still relevant. So it's just going to expand on top of that,
Yep.
right? In this case, we're taking the US locations, we're going to make them global. All right, we're done. Let's take a look. I can see there's those additional pages
Yep.
that were generated.
Yeah.
Switzerland, beyond. And here we are.
So they're still there.
Yeah, we can zoom out.
It's amazing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of data.
Yeah, which for a lot of our customer applications who, you have IoT devices, you have localization, you have events, you have sales orders, you have all these, geolocations map centric. That's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's maybe like change it up from office locations. We'll get back to the US and see if we can totally change it and see how it responds to us. Maybe doing like supply chain use case where you would want to look at maybe some suppliers. So I'm going to use that text replace I talked about earlier. You'll see that title changes to supply chain.
Yep.
And let's see how it does. We'll do restaurant.
Okay.
So we'll do 30 again. We'll keep it US based. In the supply chain for a restaurant. That's a hard one to spell live.
It's a running joke with my wife when I get,
Spelling restaurant.
Yeah, always misspelling restaurant. Still.
Well, I think we got it. All right. And now you can see it's totally replaced those first 30 records. Those were no longer relevant. So we've got an entirely fresh new data set. And look at this. Let's see how it did. Oh, we got even more robust descriptions here too. So Spice World, Catering Connect Services. I think I saw a fun one over here. Yeah, vegan vitality suppliers. That's great.
Very cool.
I love to watch that transform. We saw it not only scale, but then be able to contextualize with more specific cues, just all in the same visualization. Within seconds, I've been checking my screen for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I know our services team has had a lot of fun with this the past, month or so playing with it. It's still never ceased to amaze me. I mean that. That's pretty cool. So
great. Want to do maybe one more back into
let's do
HubSpot for a little bit?
Yep.
All right, let me jump back into HubSpot. Okay. So back in HubSpot, now we're in their sales. It's probably like their prospecting calendar section. We can see there's no calendar connected. Again, we're starting from an empty state here. And we can do a couple of things. There's two different areas that drive this page for part of this demo. So I think we can start with one, maybe generate some tasks that an SDR would do, see how it populates a calendar, which is another example of a visualization, right? It's driven by a table, but it presents in a really powerful way when you see it inject the data live. So we'll start with SDR and then we can change the persona and see what a CSM would do.
Yeah, that's great. I think,
You can talk well in.
I'll tell her later. Yeah, while Hannah's doing that, I think one of the things that's so important is that every customer is different on how they want to implement the data. Sometimes they want a graph designer, like I showed you, where kind of like top down, and other times it's like, hey, I want all of this data to kind of bottoms up, and then you're using table data that actually structures the graphs. So yeah, highly relevant.
I'm going to get a little bit more specific with this prompt just so we can show, how it can handle specificity.
Cool.
So we're going to do 25 tasks that an SDR would complete. We're going to talk about a specific lead here. We'll do the one that's this Parker Industries lead. So every task that you should see should be related to that. And I'm going to define a timeline. So we're looking at a calendar. Hold on, can't talk and type. We're going to, let's just define that it should be within like the past 3 days and maybe upcoming into the next week. Okay, that was quick.
Very cool.
All right, so now we've got some emails, calls to do, sending case studies, schedule. I mean, it's just nailed what an SDR would be responsible for. So for it to also understand and apply that within this table, and then the second we publish it, if we get the Saleo switch on,
Yeah.
We've got a full calendar. We've got tasks that are due. You can hover over. I mean, super relevant. I think it did a really great job with this use case here.
That's very cool.
Looking into next week, see how it responded to that timeline. There we go. We've got the ones coming up in the next week. So it definitely took some good direction there, which is great to see. We've been testing that a lot. Right. It's great to have AI powered data, but you still want to feel in control. And so making sure that it responds to how you want your data to present is really critical for us as we're thinking through this implementation. So now I'm going to hop into a different table. And we can do that CSM use case that we were talking about. This is actually going to be calendar events. I think this one's going to generate a little bit more color for us too, which is always great to see. I'm going to go back into Saleo AI and let's talk about a upsell calendar. Various upsell. I'm going to tell it to provide some example company names as well in the titles, as well as defining that timeline again. The last 3 days. We'll do company names here.
It's good. It's a lot to remember.
All right, let's send it. Cool, we've got those company names, descriptions and titles. I can see it generating. Data solutions follow up with specific descriptions that feel
So
a lot.
Instead of SDR, these are CSM.
Yeah, and it feels pretty relevant.
Cool. Publish it, injects it in.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All within the native HubSpot app. Yeah, that's very cool.
Definitely. All right.
Yes, that would have taken, you could do CSV uploads in the past, but yeah, that would have taken some time. That's very neat. Very cool. Yeah, that's amazing. Well done, especially live. It's never doing it live is never fun.
Never fun, but we made it happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very good. Thank you, Hannah, for walking us through that.
Of course.
Very good. So just kind of a quick frame up, and then we'll get into some Q&A here. So, whole concept, right? Create, inject, have full control of the data. I think one of the things that has been so neat, especially me, I've been testing it personally, is you can generate the data and then you can adjust it at any time, right? So it's like real-time data generation in context, but then if I don't like it this way, if I want to translate it, I want to go a different currency or localization, I can just take really great data sets and then completely transform them and then duplicate them, share them out. So I think the scalability factor is amazing, and that true data injection, especially combined with the new Saleo AI, is at the API layer, which is needed, right? If you want the actual native authentic product to render correctly, you have to be at the API layer. And by the way, just as a quick footnote, we require no backend access as Saleo. So everything that we're doing is at the browser layer. So just as a quick asterisk footnote to that, and then that self-service control, right? It's not a black box. It's not something you have to rely on us on. We empower you as our customers, as our buyers, as our prospects to be able to do that yourselves. So very cool. This has been a long time coming. I know you guys have been working really hard. So kudos to Hannah, to the entire product team, the QA team. It's just been a massive effort to get this across the line, to get it to the fidelity that it is today. So really excited for it. You guys did just an amazing job. So much appreciated for the hard work. Very cool. All right, so let's go into some QA. What did am I gonna stop sharing here? Is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, we can stop sharing and then take a look at the
very
questions.
good. So we'll go into some QA for any questions. Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah, we got a good amount.
All right, there's the poll. All right, so I'm being reminded by our marketing team to just through the poll results. All right, so as a reminder, if you didn't make it in the beginning, we did a quick poll. So it said, on average, how much time do you spend each week preparing demo data? 28% said 0 to 2 hours. 47% said 3 to 6 hours a week, which I think that's pretty in line with some of the case studies, some of what we've seen. 14% said 7 to 9 hours per week. And then there was 12% that said 10 plus hours, and there's substantial sample size as well. It's just pretty cool. So 10 plus hours, many of you on that. So yeah, I think it's a very real challenge, one that we know all too well. And yeah, appreciate the participation here. All right, so the Q&A. All right, let's see here. got to figure out how to do this. I need to read them and then make it public here. See here. Do I just answer live?
You can answer it. Yeah,
okay, very
like
good.
that. I think.
All right. Scott Lane said, could this AI feature generate emails into an inbox if you were demoing Outlook online? The answer is if Saleo Live is hooked up into Outlook online, yes. Desktop app, you could not do, but if it's in the browser online, absolutely, it could do that. So it's a good question. We actually have many customers and have tons of email transactions. You actually tested one this morning. We won't name it, but we didn't show it today, but it was like they had to have thousands and thousands upon emails that then showed engagement, that showed activity. And just to get the actual metrics to look good, we're predicated on having the actual raw email templates. And so, yes, so it does do that. Matter of fact, we did a substantial testing on that because you want body and context to those emails. You want it to look good because if you're driving into the email and you want to read it, it needs to make sense. It needs to be relevant. So a lot of our testing around the contextualization was centered on a lot of the sales engagement apps, CRMs, marketing automation, et cetera. So great question, Scott. Hopefully I'm not getting any thumbs up from marketing. That everyone can see that okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me see, answer live. Christina Moon says, can the data stay in there or does it go away when I go back to the live site? The data stays persistent in Saleo, right? So as long as Saleo is running and you generate the data, you have it in your demo library, you can always go back to it and queue it up. As it relates to the live instance, the moment you stop Saleo, it actually defaults to the backend state, right? So that's the point. It's not touching the backend. There's no security concern. So as long as Saleo is running, you generated the data, it saves a state. You can go to your demo library, you can pull it up, and it injects the data. So great question, Christina. All right, let's see here. This is actually one I may not know, but I'm going to put Hannah on the spot here. Dan Madden, how are you? Good to see you. Says, can the data be created and then exported? I believe that's the case because you can do CSV.
We have CSV.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, so you can generate it in Saleo and then you can export it. So you can absolutely do that.
You can export. You can modify if you need to, and then re-import as well. So
okay. Yeah. So you can AI generate, use it, export it, modify as well, put it back in, and modify even further.
Yep.
So, great question, Dan. Thank you. Hope you're well, by the way. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Richard Armstrong had asked, do you create a knowledge base for each table or is it 1 KB for all elements license? It's up to you on how you actually set it up. It depends on your application and how you're demoing and how you want to structure the data. Some customers may have multiple knowledge bases. Some may not. Depends upon your app. Anything else you would add to that?
No, that's part of the custom implementation process that we can help configure what makes the most sense and how you structure your demos as well. How you tell your story.
Yes.
We get to walk you through that process to make sure everything is configured to scale appropriately. So I think that's a great question. And yeah, we're used to handling some of those niche requests. Yeah,
it's a great question. And it's some of our customers want one because these cascade to all, or they have 5 different knowledge bases, 5 different screens, modals, and you can completely tailor each one based upon how you want it set up. So all right, answer live. This is a good one. Which AI, and this is David Rhodes, which AI LLM vendor are you using? So I won't talk about all of the IP and the proprietary components we're using. I can tell you that we have tested I don't say every, at least 5 or 6 public LLMs that I'm familiar with, from the Claudes to the Llamas to the OpenAI GPT, all the variants in that GPT, O1, O3, many. So we have tried, no pun intended, because I think there's like an O3 mini, O1 mini. So yeah, so we have tested and tried all. That's some of the fine tuning. We spent an enormous amount of time on it. Which model at the right time provides the right context in the app to generate the best data with the quickest response time? Because that's what we're balancing. There's some that are faster as it relates to the LLMs and the public models. There's some that may take slightly more time to produce better data. So we really try to strike the right balance. So we won't disclose our complete architecture. I can tell you that we have access and have tested almost all the public models. Gemini is another one I didn't mention. Yep. Gemini is one that we tested. So almost every, LLM.
And that doesn't stop here too, right? It's not like we're releasing and wiping our hands. We're going to continue as new models emerge. We're going to continue testing to see how they perform, and we'll integrate those as we see fit. If they're generating better data based on, we are very familiar and close to our customers' use cases, right? So we
Yeah.
try to test those specifically and see what's generating the best results. So
Yeah, this was so it's a good question, David. And definitely not a plant, by the way. So I'm not sure if Dave is a customer or not, or prospect. It's a good question. We had a really good head start because we had already harnessed and experimented with almost every LLM that's publicly available, as well as our own SLM, small language model, in our historical AI modeling engine, which is, hey, how do you take Saleo and connect it to the apps? We use AI there, and I did a post on this recently where we've gotten in the past 12 months 400% faster and more efficient in how we hook it up because of being able to harness all the LLMs. So we had a lot of good institutional knowledge going into building Demo Data Creator on which ones work best in the right scenarios. And by the way, they're evolving. I mean, they get better and better and better, and there's new technology involved every single day as they release new models, new progressions, new applications, and new use cases. So it's a moving target in the best of ways. The innovation's coming fast and furious, and yeah, we're excited to be on the forefront of that. So, good question. All right, Ryan Splain, we'll answer this one live. So, does Saleo AI extend data changes from table, subtable to other tables and subtables? So this is a Saleo customer, may not have much context for others. I know we're going to, does it right now.
you can click into a subtable and use AI to generate for that subtable.
Cool.
So it's one table at a time at the moment.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked much yet. We're still just scratching the surface, right? Demo Data Creator, we saw one use case today, but this is our plans from here on forward, is to continue expanding that. And that's one of the exact ways I'm also looking ahead, and I can see a question around tokens replacements as well, which is another feature that we have that allows customers to personalize their demos and allows them to scale it across their team. That's another area that we're going to be adding this here pretty soon.
Yep. So Ryan, to answer your question, you can use it in subtables today. In the future, we have plans where you can actually cascade it down correctly.
Correct.
Very good. And I'm going to make Angela's, because I know Angela. Hello, Angela. Thank you for the question. Does Saleo AI work for token replacements? Not yet, correct?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
And our token library that we just released last week is a step at getting us there. We've added descriptions and more context for not only teams, but also for us to understand the purpose of those tokens.
Yes. Yeah, that was a great question. And the new token manager that we released was the foundation that will allow us to do this. So, all right, let me see if I can pull the questions back up here. Let's see here. All right, another question. Any data uses limitations, costs? No costs, no data limitations. Now, there's obviously a hypothetical or a kind of practical, like you don't want to go generate 1 million records. Like it's not gonna work, right? We've set limits on that because you don't want to get into too much trouble yourself. But so no additional. But you can talk to your CSM about costs as long as you have access to it. You're not limited on the data
per request.
Correct. You're not being charged per token or per output. So yes. All right, let's see. How are we doing on time? We got a couple more minutes here.
Doing great.
Another question around pricing. I'll make this available. So what is the pricing for the AI piece? Is it consumption based? Can you save the results of your AI query to reuse the data that's AI generated? All right, so the AI piece, talk to your CSM. So if you have access to a particular package in Saleo, you will have access to it. As it relates to commercials, we won't get into that. But if you have access to it, you can, there's no limit, as we said, so you're not being paid by consumption. So you don't have to keep track of how many queries, how many searches, if you have access to Saleo AI, which, by the way, if you are a Saleo customer, one of the sign-offs and call to actions, reach out to your CSM or early access. So feel free to ask for it, request it, and gladly turn it on for you so that you all can have access. And then can you reuse the data that you AI generated? So through the context of Saleo, maybe I'm make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Once it's generated, it's effectively saving it in that state. So you can always reuse it. So you can always come back to it. But you're not. Yeah, I think that's the way that Shannon's asking the question.
Yeah, so we had that publish button that I was clicking each time, which would then inject it into the product. So once you publish, whenever you reopen that demo and revisit it, it's going to persist there. And what's great, you talked about demo sync earlier. Not only does it publish on that level. But if you're working on a master template and there's personalized views of that where people have actually created versions of that demo, the data will also sync down, which is great. So not only reusable in that specific demo, but in the other demos across your team as well.
Yes, yeah. And by the way, this is a huge piece of demo sync. They kind of work hand in hand where you're able to create personalized views using AI and also components that you may want to force down from the master demo, the parent to the child. So, all right, a longer question here, but we will publish it from Brian Cody's. Brian, hopefully I do this question justice. Says, how are you thinking about enabling specific adjustments to help with the story? Example, I want to change the macro data set to focus on the enterprise, and I want to add specific story narratives in specific parts of the application. We want to show a story of analytics to show risk, then highlight specific customers who have the risks in X, Y, Z areas and their structured and unstructured data. So yes, you are able to make adjustments at the demo sync level at the master, and then you can go in within the industry specific, the enterprise, the mid-market, and you can actually adjust the story and the data that may pertain either to that demo library or to that particular area or function or page within the application. Anything else you would add to that?
No, I think this is a great use case, and especially directionally where I know we're heading. I don't want to give away too much, but we were looking within the context of tables. I alluded that we're trying to then expand AI throughout the rest of the live products. But as we expand, there's also an easier way to generate that connected story. And so I see us only iterating on this and getting better and getting to be able to do that within one prompt. It's a great goal.
Yeah, and we always say we get our best ideas from our customers. So this is a lot's gone into this. We've had some customers pour into it, but excited to get it out there. And yeah, this is just the beginning. Yeah. Just version 1. So, all right, we've got 1 more minute here. We'll do 1 more question. Thomas Procure says, when will the AI feature be available? Today. So if you're a customer, it is in early access. Please reach out to your CSM at Saleo, and they and we'll get you access. You can sign up for the EA program. So it's ready to go for our early access customers. That's like an excited, slightly nervous product manager right next to me. So it's good. Adam, actually 1 more question. So I might have missed it, but can it do image generation? It TBD version 2. We're working on it. Not yet. Correct?
Not today.
The AI can. We just need to make sure that it funnels it in. So yes. So it's Adam. It's a great question. The first release will not do image generation, coming in a later version. So. Okay, very good.
Maybe time.
Yeah, 1 more. Let's see here.
This one up here was pretty good.
Which one is that?
If you scroll up 1 more.
Okay, there we go. So Christina Moon says, does it work across multiple sites simultaneously if I need to show data on one site and push it to another site to continue the story? It does. So one of the benefits of Saleo, we added this a couple years ago, we call it cross-domain functionality, where Saleo works across the open web. So we have a lot of customers that have acquired companies. They have 6 or 7 different products, 250 products for some customers, and they need to be able to demo live across any of those tabs, any of those areas. Or you have integration partners where you want to tell one story in your application, and then you want to pop over to the integration partner and make sure that the story is connected. So yes, as long as the data is set up across those 2, 3, 4 different areas, and Saleo's queued up, it injects the data across all of them, so you have a continuous story. So it does work across multiple sites simultaneously. The benefit of being in the live.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, very good. Well, thank you all. Appreciate the questions. It looks like the team had put up just a quick poll. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for spending 45 minutes with us today, post lunch and early morning on the West Coast. We're very excited about it. Hannah did a great job. Thank you for walking through it. And again, early access, Saleo customers, early access, please reach out to your CSM. We would love to get this in your hands. If you're not a Saleo customer, of course, we would love to talk to you as well. So please feel free to reach out, contact us on the website, social, however we can help. So thank you so much for the time. It's a very exciting day for us